Well, what I'm going to talk about now is characters, and ain't you just one of them? So I reckon 6 rounds into 12, kind of mid-season, I want to have a little bit of a mid-season report, see how some of the really important characters in our championship are going. So one of the ways to do this, I reckon, nicely is to, rather than drill into real detail, is to look at their overall championship positions. Now, first down the order, that's your championship position. Now, these are race weekends, not individual races. Remember, there's multiple races on many of our weekends. So I want to talk about Davey Reynolds first. Why? Because there's his 2021 championship trajectory. Pretty awful, right? And the previous year wasn't much better. He just has not had his mojo. We know that. But now, Davey Reynolds in this new team, Kelly Grove, well, not Kelly Grove Racing, Grove Racing now, look at that. Look at his champ trajectory on 5th, and look at that. Who knows where he's heading? Now, a big part of this story, really, for me, is look at Dave. And when I said about characters, I mean it. Dave's a quirky character. We all know that. He needs to be in the right place. He needs to be happy. He wasn't happy at Erebus. That's just a fact. He struggled the last couple of years. Steve Grove, Brenton Grove have done a great job. I had a really good chat to Steve about this at the start of the year. He understood that they've got to put Dave in the place that makes Dave happy. And we saw, I did a piece with Dave yesterday, when Dave's happy, he's fast. So this is just great to watch because the kid, well, he's not a kid anymore, he is a genuine talent. OK, next one. Well, this ain't such a good story. Walkinshaw, Andretti United, Chaz Mostert. So these guys won Bathurst last year, right? Come out at the start of this year. This is Percat. This is Mostert, 2 of our lead players. Look at that. Came out, won the first round, but then it's been a downhill spiral. And quite frankly, their performances at best have been ordinary. They know it. Cars haven't been fast enough, often enough. Now, practice yesterday, they were both strong, so that's something to look out for. But I just wonder now, this far into the season, the really big announcement was that Walkinshaw and Andretti United, they're going to Mustangs next year. So I can tell you a lot of their engineering mindset, development, energy is going to have to be put there. So watch this space. Next one, let's have a look at a couple of the young guns, a couple of the key guys in the championship. Will Brown, this kid is a talent. He was a TCR champion. He should have been a Formula Ford champion. He was a Toyota 86 champion. I mean, basically Formula 4 champion. Everything he's put his butt in, he's won. We had big expectations for this kid, and I know he did as well. He finished 8th in the championship last year. Now, when we look, I'll just drop that out of the way for a sec. This is Will here, 7th, 8th, 12th, and he's tumbling down the order. Now, there's been some pit stop errors. We've seen that from the team. There's been too many times where I've walked into their garage and the cars just haven't been fast enough. But do not write this kid off. He's a talent. This one I want to talk about, Brock Feeney. Now, Brock, Super 2 Series winner. At the start of the year, this is very much like the Anton De Pasquale story. He goes into a team and the expectation on himself as a winner is very high. And many of us spoke to him and just spoke around him about if he could maybe, you know, this is my bar of expectation, if he could be against Shane Van Gisbergen and maintain anywhere in the top 10 in the championship, he's done a really good job. Well, look at that. That, for a young bloke, is very good. 6th and 7th in the championship. So, star of the future, no question about it. Let's blaze on and get into a couple of the big fish up here in the north. The big players that are really in the championship hunt. Anton De Pasquale. This is a fascinating story if you haven't been following it. So I'll put both his championship years up. Anton, a real talent, clearly fast. So last year, most pole positions, won 6 races. But have a look at his year. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 occasions where he scored no points. Did not finish. They got a disqualification. You just can't do that. This year, they've had a complete reset. He hasn't even won a race this year, right? He's still fast, but what he's learning at the moment is to use his speed, capitalise, convert, and put some championship points in the bag. And I just wonder, if we put Will Davison, his team partner, up there with him, look at Will Davison. He hasn't been as fast as Anton typically over a qualifying lap, but look at his championship result last year. He showed Anton how to do it. So Anton's come out this year, and so far, so good. Now he needs to start to use his speed again and get up the front there and attack. It's an interesting story, that one. And this guy, you know, we just saw the piece on him then. We hold out so much hope. This is the guy I don't know, we want to see him take it to Shane Van Gisbergen. When he's got up there with him, he has shown a lot of vigour. And you can see his championship, it's always sort of been shown a lot of promise, but it's never really taken off. And I just hope now, Winton last weekend, is that the turning point? Because he's not afraid of Shane, nice face, but he's happy to get in and have a whack. And I really like that about Cam. So he was really happy with his car yesterday. Let's fingers crossed, hope he's there to take it to Shane this weekend. So let's have a look at this guy, Shane Van Gisbergen. I mean, look at that. Look at that face. You reckon that doesn't say it all? And so he should look like that because look at his championship year. I put 2 championship years together, 21 and 22. Look at this. Just unbelievable. He's our 2016 and 221 champion. This guy is special. Again, we're watching something special. Now, 9 race wins so far this year. When I go back over these weekends, there's 45 races in total there. And I know what you're thinking, what I was thinking. I wonder how Scott McLaughlin went in his last 45 races in this championship. So we did a little comparo. And who would have thought? 23 wins, 22 wins. Now, of course, the big difference is Scott McLaughlin had to beat this guy to do that. But I can't help but think and wonder, you know, Jamie Whincup is on paper the greatest ever in our championship. But gee whiz, you know, this guy has matured as a driver. He's the complete driver. This guy always was. Oh, you only dream what it might have been if they could be back racing together again, eh?